Hello everyone, this is John from freedomboundbusiness.com. Welcome to the Freedom Bound Business Show, where we interview successful entrepreneurs. In this case, we have Brian Shapleigh. He's the creator of Kindle Autopilot. This is a course that's going to teach you how to systematize your Kindle business. Eventually, at one point or another, every Kindle publisher is going to meet a crossroads. This is where they decide if they want to keep working in their business or start working on their business. Publishers will start outsourcing their business to focus on other online passive income models. And while they're doing their new online ventures, they're going to want to maintain their Kindle publishing business to support their new endeavors as well. Or even if you're going, say, on a vacation and living the laptop lifestyle, maybe traveling, you're going to want to have your Kindle business handled and not have to worry while you're away for a couple months or while you're concentrating on other online efforts. Anyways, here is Brian to talk more about Kindle Autopilot. Hello everyone, we are here today with Brian Shapleigh. Brian, welcome to the Freedom Bound Business Show.
Hey John, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Brian, let me start off with the headline of your sales page here. It says, learn how to save hours of time on your publishing process so you can enjoy your passive income. So Brian, tell us a little bit about Kindle Autopilot and why Kindle publishers should be excited.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So, in terms of why I created Kindle Autopilot, I realized that as I was walking through the process of just learning about Kindle publishing, I realized that most people out there, when they have Kindle courses that they're following, a lot of them teach you about the process, but they don't teach you how to systematize your business. And so, what I mean by that is essentially being able to locate that 20, 15, 20% of your business that actually is going to make you money, only focus on that, and then learn how to build a system that's going to help do all those other things for you that are just monotonous, but they're things that you have to do in order to publish your book and actually have it make money for you. And so if you can get that off your plate, you're essentially going to have hours and hours of more time to invest in the 20% of your business that actually makes money for you.
That's right. So is this course something what type of level should a Kindle publisher be at before they should go into this course? Does it really matter, or what's your experience as a creator with this?
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of the experience level, honestly, it's going to run the gamut. I know that there's people that have never even published a book that took my course just to see what it was about. I know there's a publisher making over 10 grand a month that's used my course. So it really does run the gamut in terms of the range of your experience or who can actually utilize the program. What I would say is that you want to have a good foundation of what you're doing just in terms of the basic steps of Kindle publishing. You're going to get that inadvertently in my course because my course is all about systematizing your existing process. So even if you didn't know anything, you could still utilize my course to actually build a system. But really, I would say that if you're a relatively new publisher, you've at least walked through the steps that you have to go through, and you're at a point where you want to start thinking long term, that this would be a perfect solution. But honestly, as long as you've published one book and you at least have the basic steps and knowledge to do that, you can use Kindle Autopilot.
Okay, so good. How long does it take to set up this process that we're talking about when you're, let's say, complete, or what I'm trying to say is, how long does it take to set up a process, this system to have it outsourced maybe 95 to 100%?
Yeah, so in terms of outsourcing the entire business, that is going to be a little bit more of a process. This whole thing is built on outsourcing and actually training people. So you do have to take a little bit of time to actually train people to run the basics of your business. But once you build up enough trust with the people that are utilizing the system already for you, you can pinpoint that one person that you really want to help take that business to the next level where you're actually fully automating it, and you can start to give them some of the more advanced training videos and basically just teach them everything that you know through the videos that I provide. That's when
Yeah.
you can actually turn it into 100% in terms of the system. Now, how long that's going to take is really going to depend on a couple things. One, it's going to depend on where you are. Do you feel comfortable as a publisher to fully automate your business? If you're at a point where you're making the money that you need to make every single month, then it's a great time to do that. But all publishers have different goals. So you have to think about that. You also have to think about the VAs that you have or that you're going to have. You want to make sure that you have someone that's in place that does a good job and you have a good relationship and a high level of trust, because you're essentially going to be handing them over the keys to your kingdom, essentially. Now, the benefit, of course, is that you can have that passive income rolling in month after month, and you've done very little work. But in order to have a system in place and utilize it, you do have to do some work up front. But hey, that's the whole point of passive income, that once you get it rolling and you're able to systematize it, it just keeps coming and coming.
Right, right. Now, me and you have been doing Kindle publishing for a little bit of time here now in 2016. So, tell me a little bit more about the mundane tasks that Kindle publishers have to deal with. Just maybe a few, maybe somebody who's just starting out with Kindle publishing runs
Mhm.
into this course, and let them know a little bit about, yeah, basically the stuff that Kindle publishers don't want to do and rather focus on.
Yeah, great question, John. So I think if we look at just some of the tasks, of course, just getting your book written, making sure that you're getting the right content, getting the right outlines to the book writing company, communicating with them if there are any issues. Obviously, uploading your book to the KDP platform, uploading your book to CreateSpace, getting all the reviews for your books and setting up the free promotions for your books. And then in terms of the production side, not only the writing, but you also have to worry about formatting. I tell people, obviously, my Kindle Autopilot is all about outsourcing. So I outsource a lot of the creation, whether it's the writing, whether it's the covers, whether it's the descriptions. And so if you're going to a place like Fiverr, and you have 3, 4, 5, 6 books that you're trying to get published, you're spending hours and hours just submitting, applications for the jobs to get done. You're spending hours and hours of time. If you're doing reviews by yourself, I mean, God help you, you're not going to have any time
Yeah.
to do anything else with your Kindle publishing business. So it's just those monotonous tasks that you have to do over and over that they get you from point A to point B to where you're making money. But essentially, you can pay someone a couple bucks to do all that and really free up a lot of your time so you can focus on the things that are really going to make you money.
And that is, just in case anyone who's not familiar with Kindle publishing, that's hiring from, other parts of the world where it doesn't cost as much
Mhm.
to, hire someone, for example, from the Philippines that, we would pay them a little bit less, but it's good money for them, so it's a win-win in both
Mhm.
situations.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So just that's what the whole concept of outsourcing is, just finding someone that can do a job a lot cheaper than someone in the US and for a price that you're willing to pay because it's worth your time. What I tell people is, if it takes you, 5 hours to produce a book and you can take 3 of those hours off your plate and pay someone, 4 or 5 bucks to do it, well, now you've just increased your overall hourly wage because you've given yourself 3 hours of time back. So it's a hard concept for people to grasp initially. And I get it. For new publishers, maybe you don't have a lot of money to invest. You're just trying to get up and rolling. Some of these things, especially if you're new, you're going to have to do that on your own just to learn what it is and to learn the process. But I know for me, you do have to get to a point where you say, my time is worth more than
Yeah.
submitting gigs to Fiverr.com or doing reviews or even uploading my book onto CreateSpace. And that's why I created Kindle Autopilot.
Nice, nice, very good. Um, now, for the a question, this is a question for Kindle publishers who are maybe reaching that 5K a month mark or even 10K, somewhere in between that range. Will this course be something that can maintain their Kindle business while they're focusing on affiliate marketing or focusing on product creation or whatever internet marketing endeavor they want to? Is this something for them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, it doesn't matter where you're at. You're going to have to implement the system. But the great part is when you're making $5,000, $10,000 a month, you pretty much know what you have to do each and every single month to either produce more income or
Yeah.
to sustain where you're at. Because no one really gets to 5 or 10K a month in 2 months.
Right.
So once you get to that point, you have a good idea and a good understanding of your business and what it's going to take. And so from that point, if you're saying, well, hey, I need to produce 2 books a month and that will maintain my income because the income that maybe dropped off in that month will be made up by the 2 or 3 books that I have, then you can kind of get an idea of, well, what I need to do to produce those 3 books, and then allow, someone who's working for you and actually running the system to produce those 3 books for you.
Gotcha. Cool. Um, so how much will it cost to outsource, say, 95 to 100%? Now, I know this is kind of, hard to pinpoint, I would think. Um, but maybe a rough estimate of, someone who's around the 2K to 5K mark,
Mhm.
which is still hard to say, but how much would they have to spend a month or a week or whatever you'd like to share with us, to outsource the Kindle business?
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, it's definitely a loaded question because every publisher is going to be
Yeah.
different. But if you kind of think of it this way, so break down, this will just be give you an idea of what people can do so that they'll get a basic idea of their numbers and then they can kind of backtrack it for them instead of giving a specific number. So, what you would do is walk through the entire process of your book, everything from finding the niche to finding the keywords to getting the cover. Figure out how much that is going to cost you in terms of hours, okay?
Right.
And then go ahead and with your VA, you think about what they charge per hour. Now, I still would pay a VA per task because it's going to give them more incentive to get it done quicker. But you think about, okay, well, it's going to take me 6 hours to publish this book. Okay. Now, I know my time is worth probably way more than $5 an hour or
Yeah.
$6 an hour. But let's just say minimum wage, which I think is like 7.25. So $7 an hour.
Mhm.
So for $7 an hour, I can basically get my entire book outsourced, which 7 times, what did I say, 5 or 6 hours? Let's say it was 6 hours. That's $42 per book to have that whole thing outsourced. Now, again, this is very, very loose.
Yeah.
With your VA, if they're doing a great job, you might want to pay them more per book. You can do either per task or per book, but just think about it. Okay, how much is it going to take me in terms of time? And then with someone in India or the Philippines or whoever I'm getting my VAs from, is $7 an hour going to be a good fair wage for them? And if it is, then by all means, pay them that 40, $50 to outsource that book. And I mean, think about it. If you're making two, three, $4,000 a month, you're probably not to the point where you're guessing if your book's going to make any money for the month. So you really, even if your book only made $100 a month, well, you spent 50 of that to outsource it. You still made $50 from it, and that's a passive income stream that's going to keep going on and build upon itself. So I don't know if that answers your question, but kind of just gives you an idea
Definitely
of
does.
it
Yeah.
really doesn't cost you that much to outsource your entire business. And if you're making 10 grand a month, what is that extra time worth to you now that you can pretty much get all your time back? You can go build
Right.
those other businesses.
Right. It's barely going to be a dent if you're making
Yeah,
that much.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so I know there's a Facebook group for your course, but is there some type of funnel or any upsells, one-time offers that come along with the course?
Yeah, so in terms of upsells, I don't put anything in the initial offer. Now, in my Kindle course, I do recommend and show you how to use a few of the tools that I use. Now, these are completely optional. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, they are affiliate links. So if you decide that you want to utilize them, then by all means, go for it. But I don't do anything in terms of hard upsells with the course itself. There's no sales funnel that goes along with it. There's three essential tools that I use to help me with my niche and my keywords and categories and things like that, that if someone wants to use, go for it. That would help me out. But at the end of the day, just buying my course is definitely enough. So
All right, great. Um, is there anything else you would like people to know about Kindle Autopilot before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. I mean, really, I obviously I'm biased, but I want everyone to buy this product. And it's not just because, oh, hey, I make a lot of money, but the concept of outsourcing your business and what it can actually mean for you long term is absolutely amazing. If you look at all the really high end, very successful businesses, they all run on systems. McDonald's is a perfect case. McDonald's is the perfect system. Basically, 16-year-olds run that system. And it's all because everything is laid out, everything has a place, everything has a plan. If you can do that in any business and systematize it, like you said, you go and you build a 2 or 3K a month Kindle publishing business, you essentially put it on autopilot to where you may be working a few hours in that business each and every single month. And then you can go focus on affiliate marketing. You can focus on, creating a YouTube channel, creating a blog, things like that you wouldn't normally be able to put your full focus on if you had to spend 8, 10, 12 hours a week on your Kindle business. So it's really just about getting the message out there to people about how important it is to actually systematize any business that you have, regardless of whether or not you utilize my course. Anyone who desires to be wealthy, who desires, especially in the online world, to make a lot of money, you have to learn how to systematize your business. That's the only way that you can create passive income streams and long-term passive income streams is through systems. So that's my goal there, is just to get that message out about how important it is to outsource your business.
I love it. Hey, thank you, Brian, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Brian. If you're interested at all in Kindle Autopilot, make sure to come back tomorrow. I'm going to be recording a in-depth review and really what this course is all about. The power of this course I'm going to be showing you through the membership area and giving you the thoughts of your host, me, John. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.